This is GearIT, or GearIT heat shrink tubing. This is the 3/8 inch size. It goes down to 1/8 inch size when you shrink it, and it's adhesive lined, so it will stick to things. I received this to review for free from the Amazon Vine Voice Review Program. If you wanted to buy it, it would cost you $27. They have not paid me for my review, and my opinions are my own. Comes with a little thing here. And this is the end of the tube. So it looks like they have sealed this end of the tube in shipping. So I'm going to cut that off. Alright, let's try a piece of this. Alright, so here I have a 3/8 inch wooden dowel, and that 3/8 inch wooden dowel will go into this heat shrink tubing at least that far before it starts getting a little bit hard to push in. So I think 3/8 is a fair size for the unshrunk size. This is a 1/4 inch dowel here, and this is about a 1/10 inch piece of wire. It's 0.11 there. So I'm going to try shrinking on both of these guys. This is smaller than this guy claims to get, so I'm not expecting it to fully shrink on that guy. This 1/4 inch is twice as big as the 1/8 inch size that it says it'll shrink to, so it should definitely fully tighten on that guy. So let's give this a shot. Alright, so the 1/4 inch dowel, it completely shrunk around that, no problems. I can see just a tiny little bit of adhesive sticking out on this side over here, and just a tiny bead coming out on that side there. Now this guy here is not a 1/8 inch wire, it's more like a 1/9 inch wire. It's 0.11 inches, and it shrank almost fully around it. There's maybe a tiny little gap on one side here, but it is definitely adhesed or stuck to this wire here. So the adhesive did melt and made a good connection there. Let me split both of these in half and just take a look if we can see anything on the inside. I suspect it's going to be a lot like these sides that we can see here. So, you know, there's that guy. There appears to be just a little tiny bit of gap in there, but it is stuck on really well. I can't pull that bit there off. Pulled this plastic off, but not that thing there. Alright, here's the dowel. Alright, so you know, there that thing is. It's stuck on pretty well. I think I deformed the dowel when I snapped it there, but other than that, that stuff is sticking on really well. Give this a shot with a pair of pliers. Yeah, that's not coming off. Put that in the vise. Alright, I have about a 1/2 inch of this heat shrink adhesive tubing stuck on this guy. I put it in the vise, and I was able to pull that off with a pretty serious yank. Now, if you look here, you can see adhesive residue all the way around the wire there, except maybe right there might not be some. I'm trying to tell. It's hard to tell if it's all the way around or not, but it looks like that adhesive was stuck onto that wire pretty much all the way around it. We're going to give this a shot with the 1/4 inch dowel. And yes, I was able to pull this off of the 1/4 inch dowel. It was a decent yank. And there's adhesive residue on this side here and that side there. It doesn't look like there's as much adhesive on these top and bottom bits. That may be because when I squished it with the pliers, that may have pulled those sides off a little bit. It may have came off with the heat shrink tubing instead of on the wooden dowel here. But I was able to pull those guys off. So this is a different brand of 3/8 inch adhesive lined shrinking tubing. Alright, the biggest visible difference with this other brand is that I have more of the glue coming out the side, so visibly more glue coming out of each end. So it appears that the GearIT heat shrink tubing may not have quite as much of a volume of adhesive on the inside. We're going to give this guy the same treatment on the 1/4 inch dowel. So I had about that much on there. I'm going to cut off a bit to kind of, we'll be cracking the wood a little here. So it looked about the same in the inside there, where it's connected on these two sides, and then those two sides are not because the wood got smushed. Then I'll take it over to the vise and try pulling this guy off. Alright, let's see how this is to pull off. Alright, I didn't pull it on the first yank. I did twist it a little, which I didn't do with the other one, but it did pull off after twisting it. So I'm going to say there doesn't appear to be a large difference here between my other brand and the GearIT brand. This guy has, you can see, visibly more glue adhesive that's squeezed out, but there's still like not adhesive on the wood here, but there is adhesive around there. Now this is a painted dowel, so it would slide off and the glue wouldn't adhere to it quite as well as a regular dowel. It was holding on. I had to yank on it to get it out. So size-wise, they look the same. I mean, if I dropped them, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you which was which at this point. So I'm going to say that this GearIT 3/8 inch shrink tubing is just as good as the stuff I was using before. Seems to shrink appropriately. It has some glue in it. So if you're looking for 50 feet of heat shrink tubing, this is your roll.